Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing my belated June wrap-up. As I explained in my news video, I needed a little break after the whole bookshelf tour, and then I went on a family trip to Alaska, and now I'm back. So this is my very belated June wrap-up. Sorry about that. So after much pressure from Alexa of Alexa Loves Books, the first book that I read in June was Warcross by Marie Lu. I was also very much looking forward to reading it, but she read it and she needed someone to talk to it about because she loved it so much, so I immediately read it. I actually started reading it during Book Expo. Like the second that I got it, I was like, I'm gonna take this home and I'm gonna start reading it tonight. And I did. So I really loved this book. It follows a girl named Emika Chen, and it takes place, it's kind of similar to like a Ready Player One type thing because there's a whole like video game world, but it's also totally different and totally its own thing. So Emika lives in a world where this game called Warcross has gotten so popular and so many of the people that live in the world are using it, like everyone just depends on it, but because so many people are using it and there is so much crime that's happening in it, the police aren't able to keep up with everything that's going on. So Emika works as a bounty hunter where she tries to catch criminals in Warcross, and then she gets reward money from the police, but things are not really going her way. She's not really making as much money as she needs to, and then something happens and she ends up getting an invitation to attend the like huge championship that is happening in Warcross. It's happening in Tokyo. So she gets flown across the country to Tokyo by Hideo Tanaka in his private jet, and she gets offered a job being a member of the championship games, like getting to be a wild card in the games to try to track down this crime that has been happening. It's really cool. It's kind of like a mystery because you're trying to figure out who is the criminal in this book that she is tracking. You're also falling in love with Hideo because he is amazing. And yeah, it's just so good. If you like video games at all or any kind of virtual reality type thing, I would definitely suggest reading this. Even if you don't, I think it would be worth giving it a shot because it is really good. I ended up giving Warcross 5 out of 5 stars. I really loved it. It was so much fun and I'm dying for the second book, and I already have in my mind and heart what I want the title to be for the second book, and I'm really hoping that that is what happens. You gotta get this one. This one comes out in September, so keep an eye out. Next, I read The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is the first book in the Folk of Air series. I'm hoping that it's going to be a very long series because I am so deeply in love with this book. I said before in my news video that this is the best book that I have read this year. This is the best fairy book that I have ever read in my entire life. I fell so deeply in love with all of the characters in this book. This book is literally Game of Thrones, but with fairies. Everyone is backstabbing. There are all of these like court politics that are going on. It's this like, oh my gosh, it's just so good. Like I can't even explain to you how good it is. Like I need everyone to read it. I am so obsessed with this world. I cannot believe that I have to wait for this next book to come out. I love everything about this. There was literally not one thing in this book that I did not like. I loved everything. It follows a girl named Jude. She is really like our main character, but her and her twin sister and her older sister have been living with their mother. And then one day they find out that their older sister is actually the daughter of a fairy. Her mother and this fairy had a relationship. He comes back, he sees that their mother has run off with a human person. He is livid about it. He kills their mother and father in front of them, and then he takes Jude and her two sisters back to fairy, where he raises them as their own. Obviously there is a lot of issues there and a lot of resentment, but Jude actually, despite being human, really wants to be a fairy. She wants to fit into the fairy world. She really wants to like add value to their society and to really like live as one of them. But there are a huge group of royal people that live there that do not like humans. Like most people kind of hate humans, so Jude and her sister are often bullied, but Jude is like determined to fit in. So she goes to crazy lengths to make things happen. There are so many twists and turns throughout this novel. I did not see a lot of the things coming that were happening. And also Holly Black is not afraid to just flat out murder people. So it is shocking. It is exciting. It is everything, and you need this book in your life. And I'm totally gonna be reading this again. I am obsessed. I obviously gave The Cruel Prince 5 out of 5 stars. I would give it 100 out of like 5 stars if I could, because it is just so good. Next, I read the little short story. It's only 24 pages of A Long Conversation by Cassandra Clare. This was just kind of a little like short story to bridge the time between Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows. And this followed Jace and Clary at the engagement party that gets interrupted during Lady Midnight. So you find out like what's happening on their end. It was so cute. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was really short, so it didn't give you like too much, but I thought it was cute. And I'm glad that I read it, and I ended up giving it 3 stars. Then I read The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. This book is like a summer camp book. It follows a girl named Lucy who has a mother who is struggling with breast cancer. Her cancer has gone away, and now Lucy finds out that it has come back. And she is a very religious person, so she begins to kind of question like why this is happening. She kind of gets angry with God, and her mother convinces her to go, and instead of spending her summer at the camp that her parents own, which is called Holyoke, her mom convinces her to work at a different camp for people who have been in rough situations. Lucy's really upset because she doesn't want to spend time away from her mother, especially during this time where she's sick. But her mom makes her promise because she wants her to know that she will be okay if anything were to happen to her. So it's a really beautiful like coming of age story that follows Lucy. It follows her really branching out, meeting people that are totally outside of the kinds of people that she would normally meet like in her privileged town. And it's really heartwarming. It's really nice to see her and all of these diverse characters like have such a beautiful friendship, and to just see the way that she develops. And also I thought it was really interesting that Emery Lord, despite like the book having a lot of religion in it, she doesn't take a stance on religion. It's just part of Lucy's life. It's not a book preaching like religion is good or religion is bad. That's just her life. That's just how she grew up. And this book had me sobbing like you wouldn't believe. Like, I think from the second chapter, or first or second chapter, I can't even remember, I cried at least once, like every single chapter, and a lot throughout the whole thing. And even when I finished the book, I just couldn't stop crying. So if you have any parents that have suffered from cancer, which I have, that is probably why this affected me as much as it did. Just be careful because you are in for like a lot of tears. But it was really, really enjoyable. I'm really glad that I did read this, and I ended up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Dark Artifices series. This book was so good. I really, really loved it. Cassie and I did a full book club for this one, which I will leave a link to down below. It's really long because there was so much to talk about, but it was so good. The book club is very spoilery, so if you haven't read it, don't watch that. But it's really hard to say anything about this book without spoiling it because there's just like so much that went on, and it's so heavily interconnected with the other books in the series that you really need to read all of them before you can read this one. I really loved it. I ended up giving this one 5 out of 5 stars. It took me a little bit longer to get into because The Cruel Prince was all about fairies, and I will never read anything better about fairies than that book. And Lord of Shadows was also about fairies, so that's why it took me a little bit longer to get into, but I did really love it, like, overall. And because I had already loved all of the characters from Lady Midnight, it was very easy to, like, fall back into that. Then I signed up for Overdrive. I went to the library, renewed my library card, and Overdrive has kind of like changed my life. I totally love it. So I'm really happy that I'm going to be like utilizing my library a bit more. And I ended up reading the book Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. This is one that I had really wanted to read because I heard good things about it from some other booktubers. It's an adult book, and it follows 2 people who are trying to escape from their country. They actually never say what country it is, but it's in like the Middle East area. They're trying to escape because there is like an impending war that is coming on, and it's really interesting. It's actually kind of a little bit of like magical realism because the way that they are able to escape is through these magic doors that will take them to different places, and as they are like on their journey to escaping, they're exiting west, so they're going like further west with each door that they're taking. It was really interesting. It was really sad to see somebody's home just like destroyed in the way that it is in this book. It's really, really scary and really sad, and it's happening to people like nowadays. So it's a really relevant book. I definitely suggest reading it. I thought that it was really beautiful. It's also really short. It was only like 230 pages, and I definitely recommend reading it. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Lucky in Love by Casey West. This is Casey West's newest book. It's coming out very soon, July 25th, I want to say. But it seems like anyone who ordered it from Amazon got it very early. Mine actually came yesterday, but I left it at work by accident. So this is the ARC version of it. This was actually my least favorite Casey West book that I have read so far. It follows a girl named Maddie. Her family has a lot of financial issues, and it definitely causes a lot of fights between her parents. So she's just thinking like, I wish that I could do anything to like get money because it would just solve everyone's problems. So then on a whim, on her 18th birthday, no one shows up for her party, and she's really upset, and she goes to the store and she buys a lottery ticket, and she ends up winning $50 million. So she thinks that all of her problems are going to be solved, but obviously there are a lot of new issues that arise once you have that kind of money. So yes, it does make things easier in the beginning, but then she does end up having a lot of issues like going forward, not knowing who she can really trust, who is only interested in being friends with her now that she has money. And then she also has her brother who is struggling with some issues of his own. It was really interesting. I think like my favorite part of it was that it just made me fantasize about like what I would do if I won the lottery. So that was really fun. As all Casey West books go, it was really cute. There was a really sweet romance in it. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't like it as much as her other books. So I thought it was cute. I thought that the ending was a little bit rushed. And overall, I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. And finally, I read There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I'm actually not certain if this was the last book that I read in June or the first book that I read in July, but I'm so confused with Alaska time and it never being night and who even knew what day it was ever. Also, I'm giving it to Cassie because we're both going to Melissa Gray's book launch event, which actually should be the day that this video is going up, Wednesday at Books of Wonder. Her final book, The Savage Dawn, is coming out, and we've gone to all of her other ones, and really excited for this one as well. But I'm giving this one to Cassie to read when we're there, so I wanted to film it now so that I could talk about it and hold it up for you. So this is Stephanie Perkins' first horror novel. It was really fun. There's nothing supernatural or paranormal happening in this. It is genuinely a very small town in Nebraska where there is not so much cell phone service. Follows a girl named Makani who has moved to this town, I want to say about a year ago. She was running away from something in her past that happened when she lived in Hawaii. Now she's living with her grandmother, and there ends up being a serial killer in the town who is running around with a knife and killing lots of teenage students in Makani's graduating class. And it was fun. It was definitely a Stephanie Perkins novel, despite it being a horror novel. I thought she did a really good job of like developing the characters. I thought that the romance was really, really cute. I liked the little group of friends that were in it, but I was honestly expecting a little bit more from it. So without spoiling anything, I was just expecting more from like the serial killer's motive or the plan behind everything. It was like a really quick, fun read, but it wasn't like a great book in my opinion. I liked it, didn't love it. It was fun. If you like horror and if you like slasher films and stuff, I think that you'll enjoy this one. It's definitely horror light. It's not like blood on every single page. So if you're worried about that, don't be. There is definitely some gruesome stuff, but not as bad as you would think. For me personally, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. And I ended up giving this one 3 out of 5 stars. So those are all the books that I read in June. Let me know if you have read any of the books that I've talked about. If you're excited for any of the ones that I've talked about, you should be really excited for The Cruel Prince because I'm going to be talking about it forever. It's amazing. But yeah, so that was like my clear favorite of the month. Let me know what your favorite book was that you read this month, and I will see you guys soon in a new video. Bye!